Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Sharice and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
All right, everybody. Good morning. We should be live. I am Natalie Elliott, and this is my fabulous social media assistant. So cute. If you want to introduce yourself, like tell everybody like who you are, where you are. This is so exciting to introduce you to the people.
Hi everyone. My name is Fela, and I am in South Africa. I'm Natalie's social media manager and also producer of the podcast. So yeah, good to be with you guys today.
Yeah. So Sharice is on her way, but she's running behind this morning, so she'll be with us. I'm in a different location, as you guys can see. So y'all might see somebody behind me walking around. But hopefully hopefully you can't hear them. So, all right. So, today's topic, which I'm so excited about, really, is are you playing small, and how you can stop shrinking and start shining. And so I feel like, oh, okay. Let's see, where do I want to start? Let me see if I can kind of chronologically do this for you guys or help you figure it out. And so I will say, if your dreams aren't scaring you, then you're playing too small. Okay, so two things. If you can accomplish your dreams by yourself, you're playing too small. If your dreams aren't scaring you, you're playing too small. If you know exactly how you're going to accomplish your dream, you're playing too small. Okay. And so I would say those are the top three things. And so you guys know I am big about you writing your goals. I am big about you having a plan. I am big about you having like the vision for your life planned out. And so as you look at that, it should be several things on the list that you're just like, I have no idea how I'm going to get this done, but I want it. So I'm going to make it happen. And I have no idea how it's going to happen. All right. So that I would say is the number one thing. Now, sometimes we can't see the bigger game for ourselves, and we have to talk to others. So if you look at your list and you're like, yeah, all of this stuff I can figure out how to do, and I can do it by myself. Okay, I need you to immediately go have a conversation with anybody else about what you want to do. Your excitement will spark their excitement, and then they'll start feeding you ideas. So, example, y'all, I'm all excited about maritalpreneurs and really helping entrepreneurial couples stay married because their divorce rates are so high. Their divorce rates are 75%. All right, so I was talking to somebody, and they were like, "Oh, you should speak at InvestFest." What? That's a huge conference. Like, I would have never thought about that in a million years. But you know what? That's an excellent idea. I have no idea how I would do that. That is huge. That is really scary. Let's put it on the list. All right, so now that's on the list. But my mind would not have made that jump. It just would not have. And so you need to talk to others, because I think, I'll say it like this. You should have some people in your circle that will dream bigger for you than you can for yourself. And if you don't have the right circle around you. That makes sense, right? And so at least 2 or 3 people should be like, Q, I can't wait for you to do this. Oh, I can't wait for you to stay on stage. I can't wait until you're singing for 1 million people. Like, you should be in concert with so-and-so, and you should be headlining for so-and-so. And they should really see those things for you. And if you don't, you got to go find them. You need to put these people in your network, because you need those ideas. And so if you think about I feel like sometimes our brains are on a train track, right? Like, our thoughts can only go kind of the places in our brain that we already have for it to go. And so when you have that other person that's now feeding you ideas, it's like it gives you new places for your brain to go. And so now my brain is like, InvestFest. Like, wow. Okay, so for those of you guys don't know, InvestFest is this huge financial conference here. It's by 2 podcasters that's called I think they're Earn Your Leisure is the name of the podcast, Earn Your Leisure. And they have a huge um, kind of conference here in Atlanta. So that would be huge. But there also once that person said that conference, now that sparked my ideas for, oh, what if I apply at all of the conferences that come to the Atlanta area? Any conference that has anything to do with owning a business, being financially independent or anything, because most of the time people are financially independent through business. So I could apply for all of them. And that's a wonderful way to get my name out, my word out, because speaking is so important. So back to the main topic of how do you not play small is making sure that you have things on your list that scare you. Okay. All right, Q, what do you want to say or add thus far? What's coming up for you as we talk about those things?
I think where I want to basically, the angle that I want to come from would be to look at comfort zone, just the theme of comfort.
Yeah.
So when you experience a lot of comfort where you are at, that's how you know. That's one of the signs that you are playing small. So once you realize that you're in such a comfortable place,
Mm-hmm.
which is almost the same thing as what Natalie is saying, that when you think about your future, when you think about your aspirations, it doesn't really scare you. It doesn't move you in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You're just really comfortable. So I think it's one of the things that you have to really avoid being comfortable. So being constantly uncomfortable, which sucks a lot most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
is a good thing because it
Mm-hmm.
means that you're challenging yourself. It means
Mm-hmm.
um, you're exposing yourself to things that
Yeah.
would better you,
Yeah.
probably bring out, the dreams within you. And I think another thing that really helps is watching your environment. Like, what are you exposed to? I think when you're surrounded by people who really don't have dreams, which is mostly related to, people have had hardships in their lives,
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things that discourage them from trying and dreaming
Mm-hmm.
and going for
Mm-hmm.
their dreams. So it's very important to watch what surrounds you, who is around you,
Mm-hmm.
what do you feed yourself. It's one of those things where I mean, I've been a person who didn't like reading in the past, but then I realized whenever I do try to push myself to read a book,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely sparks something at me that other things wouldn't really do. So
Yeah.
it's good to say expose yourself to things that will spark the life out of you. They don't always
Yeah.
have to feel natural, but do put like be intentional about
Yeah.
exposing yourself to those things, associating yourself with those
Mm-hmm.
people. Sometimes it's scary to even have like to initiate relationships with some people because you're just like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps because then you get the right influence or like just the right push to start dreaming and go for your own dreams. So I think that's what I would say also helps.
That's so good. I think what that makes me want to say to people is being in business, being out here trying to make a name for yourself, trying to grow is about being uncomfortable. Like it is about pushing the limits and
Yeah.
being uncomfortable. And so you should I love McDonald's is a fast food restaurant here. And when they're under construction, they say, "Here we grow again." Like, pardon our progress. Here we grow again. And I love that concept. And so I think if you haven't said to somebody lately in your world, in your life, in your business, pardon our mess, pardon our transition, pardon this, because here we grow again. I think that's a sign that that you're playing too small as well. And so play the bigger game. Also, I want to say, because I feel like somebody will be like, but why play a bigger game? Like, why? And I think the question is, why not? Like, like it's almost you are this. I always picture like a Corvette that's only going 10 miles per hour. Like, why not play the bigger game? Why not see all that you can do with this life? Like, why not see like how much of a blessing you can be to other people? How much of a
Yeah.
inspiration you can be to other people? Like, why not play the bigger game? And I get it's so much easier to lay on the couch and watch Netflix. I do get that. But I would love for you to be called. I would love you. I am calling you now. Let's say that. If you are hearing my voice, I am calling you right now to play the bigger game because somebody out there needs you. And as soon as you understand that the game is about the other people needing you and that you're only breaking through what you're breaking through so that others can break through what they need to break through, like you'll get it. And I that's so good. I because it even inspires me because when I'm coaching and I say something that my let's say my coachee has never heard, it's amazing to me, you know, and it makes me realize that there are
Mm.
only some things that my people are going to get through me, even though it's out there on the internet and that's where I got it. So I got it. And it's just interesting how that works, right? And so I got the information from the 5 to 10 people I
Yeah.
listen to. I filter it and I synthesize it down into something that my people can use. And they're like, wow, this is amazing. It's not like it's new information, but for whatever reason, they're able to hear it through me. And so I say that to say, your
Yeah.
playing small isn't serving your people. Your playing small isn't serving your people, and you have more people out there to serve. And so
Mm.
let's get to it. Like let's get to it. There's certain things that you have to say to them, and they're not going to get it. This is the other thing, and then I'm gonna give the floor back to you. Not only are they not going to get it, they're not going to believe it until they see you do it and they hear you say it. Then they'll be like, oh, okay, I
Mm.
get it. And I've heard a couple of people say that. Same thing for me as well. I've heard like one coach say something and another coach say the same thing. And then finally, this third coach says it in a way that I'm like, oh, I got it now. I couldn't really get it before. It was too far off. It was too far away. It was too ambiguous. And then finally, like the right coach said it at the right time. And I was like, oh, man. Okay, I see what you're saying. So, okay, Q, back to you.
I was gonna say, I think a lot of people are stuck at that point where you are faced with procrastination because of the
Mm-hmm.
fear of going for these things that scare you,
Mm,
right?
mm-hmm.
Some people start,
Mm-hmm.
like whether it's business, starting a business,
Mm-hmm.
doing all those things, but somewhere in between, obviously, when you're in there and the challenges are now showing up, you
Mm-hmm.
start getting afraid, like you fear
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh the unknown, so to speak, or like failure,
Mm-hmm.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I want to ask you, like, how does a person get out of that procrastination that is not necessarily birthed by laziness, but the fact that
Mm-hmm.
they're so afraid of where they are at, or
Mm-hmm.
just the journey of pursuing their dreams and doing all these big things in business, for instance. It's like you've attempted one opportunity, or one person, something failed along the way, and now the failure is breeding more fear for you and then causing you to procrastinate. I think that's another thing that makes people play
Yeah.
small,
Yeah.
being stuck in that procrastination on an like on a normal
Mm-hmm.
everyday life type
Mm-hmm.
of thing. So yeah, what would you say? Because I think someone else watching this could be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it, truly get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
Mm-hmm.
stuck in here. I'm procrastinating because I'm so afraid. I tried one thing, I probably failed, or something happened.
Okay. So first of all, if you have failed, I need you to say, woo, I failed. I did it. I did it and I failed. Yes, I am along the way. I'm on the way. Like failure is
Yeah.
progress. Failure means you move forward and you learn some lessons. So I actually might want to wind up taking the word failure out. But so many people identify with that word, it ain't gonna be. That's not gonna serve us when you take it out of the English language right now. But I want you to celebrate that you had a failure. I want you to celebrate that you did it, that you took a risk. I want you to celebrate that. I want you to be so proud of yourself, and I want you to say failure is part of the process, and I'm in the process. Like I am in the process. And so this is really good. I'd also like you to be able to say, all right, good. I got one failure out the way. Let me go ahead. And so in sales, when we're trying to make sales, we understand you got to contact about 10 people and seven of those are going to be no's. And so sometimes in sales, at least seven is going to be no's, up maybe up to 8 or 9. So in sales, we celebrate each no because that gets us closer to a yes. And so if you had a failure and it knocked you off, I want you to sit down with it and you said, thank you. Thank you, universe, for giving me this failure. Now I'm closer to my success. And so this is a stepping stone. I'm closer to my success. I learned something. And then bonus points if you sit down and you write the lessons you learned. And so, Q, you and I, my project last year, I was trying to do an event in December and I don't think it sold at all, right? Okay, so that was kind of a failure. With that being said, we got 500 people on the email list, you know, and
Yeah.
we learned from it. So what I learned is all that stuff that I was trying to do in October, November, December. This year I have to start it in June. Like I need to start it in
Yeah.
June. I need to have everything ready to go in June. And so failure is part of the process of success. Once you learn, oh
Mm.
shoot, I can't do it like that. I got to do it like this. Oh, I got to get this in place. I got to get this in place. Then you try it again and it should be a little bit better. So last year, I think I didn't start until October, November, way too late. This year, I'll start in
Yeah.
June and I only got that lesson through failure. Okay, so we're going to embrace
Yes.
the failure. We're going to celebrate the failure because that moved us along. Okay, now
Mm.
the other thing is kind of feel it. I think you said fear because you're overwhelmed because everything that needs to be done. I think that's what
And
you were
it's causing
saying.
you to procrastinate. That's what I
Yeah.
said.
So we're going to get real practical and we're going to write it down and we're going to understand that we are probably not going to get step 2 until we complete step 1. And that's just the way life is sometimes. I think that's just the way,
And you will do.
honestly, I think that's the way God operates sometimes is complete step 1, then I'll give you step 2. Complete step
Yeah.
2, then I'll give you step 3. Complete step 3, then I'll give you step 4. And so sit down and write down everything you need to do, and then do that. And then if that still feels overwhelming, then I want you to write it down. Then I want you to prioritize it. Then I want you to figure out what needs to be done first and do that one thing. And so sometimes we're looking for the whole entire map. We're looking for, hold on, I got all kind of alarms going on. Okay. We're looking for the whole entire map to happen. Like we want to see the whole thing. And that's not the way God
Yeah.
and the universe reveals stuff to us. It's not.
The picture.
And if he did reveal all that to you, you would be overwhelmed. You would be overwhelmed. You would really shut down. And so understand that not seeing the whole picture, but just kind of that glimpse of that vision of the end is all that you're going to get. And that's a blessing. And then do what you know you're supposed to do. And so I think I get it. I think we all procrastinate when we have a really big thing, like, oh my God, I don't know how. And then when we sit down and we realize, okay, the first step is making a phone call. The first step is sending an email. The first step is putting something in ChatGPT to come up with a standard operating procedure. The first step is reading a book. First step is contacting somebody. The first step is all of these small little things that can be taken. That'll make it easier for you. When you get the first step down to, let me jump on a Zoom call with this person to see if they're available, that's it. When you get the first step down to, let me just send a DM to this person on Instagram to see if they can show up on my podcast, it makes it so much more simple. Okay. So actually literally write all of the steps down and do all of those steps, which you know you're supposed to do. And then you'll get flooded with more. Okay. Was that helpful? Did that answer the question?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did answer my question. I mean, I think also I've noticed that certain things when they are in your mind or just within you and you haven't vocalized or like written them down,
Mm-hmm.
they may sound more overwhelming than it actually gets when you actually vocalize it. I've noticed it even with fear or like
Yeah.
frustration. When you actually tell someone, oh my God, I'm so frustrated about A, B, C, D,
Mm-hmm.
it actually, I've noticed, it
Mm-hmm.
gets smaller as you vocalize it. It's smaller and smaller and smaller compared to when it was all in your head and your mind
Right.
was having conversations with you about it and it
Yes.
was getting and worse and worse and worse. So I
Yes.
think it's the same thing even with like positivity as well. You have to get it out of your mouth, from your
Mm-hmm.
mind to your
Mm-hmm.
mouth, to your book or your
Mm-hmm.
diary or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you say, it's basic. It helps you break it down into smaller steps. I think that the mind has an ability to amplify things and make them sound or seem more dramatic than they actually are.
Yes, they
So I
do.
think that's a good point. I basically agree.
Excellent job. Excellent job. And I think I just want you guys to know that you are called to something greater. And so I feel like somebody out there in the sound of my voice is saying, "Oh, but I'm not called to anything," but you absolutely are. And I you probably haven't figured out what you're called to yet. So just do everything you know you're supposed to do. Don't worry about what it is. But you have some ideas on your head, in your head. You have some ideas on your heart. I want you to start executing those. You are called to play the bigger game. And I feel like somebody out there is saying, "No, I'm not me." Absolutely you. Absolutely you. And let's demystify what a bigger game is. Okay, what the bigger game is. And so for one person, I know this fabulous lady, and her bigger game is her crafting that she does. Now she's able to create crafts and take them down to the local hospital to bless people
Mm.
that are sick, that can't move. She's able to do
Yeah.
that. And so, is her bigger game talking to thousands of people? No. But her bigger game is blessing people on I feel like a deep level. And so don't feel like, oh, I have nothing to give, I have nothing to say, I have nothing to do. You're probably already doing it, and you need to just take it up to that next level. And so
Mm.
for some of us, it will mean you're going to eventually be on a stage queue with a million people listening to you. And don't be scared and take it step by step and just get all of the podcasts you can get. Okay, so some people that will be the case. But for some of us, it will just be the next 10 people we get to help and support and give to or sow into, the next 20 people. If you're already sowing into 20 people, it might be 40 people. If you're already sowing to 40 people, it might be 80 people. And so, but doing that next thing that makes you feel scary, that makes you feel scared, sorry, and that's a little scary. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I totally agree. A friend of mine was saying this to me this other time. We were having a similar conversation, and she was saying to me, "Friend, do you think we should all dream like to be like the Beyoncés? Like, should we all have such a dream, like
Mm-hmm.
being big, being a superstar, being, it
Mm-hmm.
sounds cute, it's great, but I think that like society has normalized that that's the ultimate
Mm-hmm.
definition of like success or,
Mm-hmm.
doing something great. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, something great can be as simple as in your everyday life, there are people who are impacted by whatever that you do, and
Mm-hmm.
us aiming or picturing the whole Beyonce thing in our minds
Mm-hmm.
makes us, not value or like realize the smallest ways that we impact people,
Right.
which is a great thing because and she was saying to me, do you know that some people don't even have the inspiration to do what you care so much about? Like some
Right.
people just don't even care, like they don't
Right.
have it within you. But this is alive in you and you do it on an everyday basis.
Yes.
So you are already doing something great and you just need to follow through and keep doing what you're doing. And
Yeah.
I really love that. because I was like, so many times I look at, for instance, with me,
Mm-hmm.
my church is, I minister
Mm-hmm.
there on
Mm-hmm.
a regular Sunday all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
some people will come up to me and be like, oh my God, today what you said, the song you sang was exactly what
Mm-hmm.
I needed,
Mm-hmm.
what I was going
Mm-hmm.
through. You know what I mean? So for
Mm-hmm.
me to actually say the day I will picture myself having impact is when I sing to a million people, which is great.
Right.
But actually appreciating the fact that in the now I'm actually doing this great thing, and
Oh
for
my
me
God.
to be able to keep going, I must be able
Yeah.
to acknowledge that I'm already doing it. So yeah, I
Yes.
just want to add.
Oh, that's so good. Like that is so good because that even reminds me that yes, you'll be doing it all along the way.
Yeah,
You'll be so as you're learning whatever your craft is, whatever thing that you're honing that's going to get you to your next level, that you're going to be doing it and blessing people all along the way. And so for like this wonderful lady who makes these crafts for the hospital, I think she even gets to make name tags for the babies in the NICU, you know? And so she
well,
will, I know, right? Like what,
cute.
it's just like, how did you even think to do that? And it's all those little small things that people are called to do, and I'm so glad that she heard her call. So, okay, now you're making these crafts, now take them down to the hospital, and where else is
Yeah.
that going to lead? And so you are being called to something. You are being called to serve on a greater level somehow, some way. If you're a cook, you might just need to cook a meal for somebody who's homeless.
Yeah.
Not even homeless. How many of us would love for somebody just to come over, just to say, hey, I cooked. Why don't you come over and eat? Like there's so
It's
many ways in which you are called to serve on a bigger level, but it's not going to feel big or huge to you. You will, and I fall into this quite often sometimes because our gifting can feel like nothing sometimes, we downplay it. And
yeah.
so I fall into it. My other therapist falls into it. Some of the people I coach fall into it. Well, I'm just talking to people. Well, I'm just singing to people. Well, I'm just doing it. It's not really doing or anything, but you have no idea. You have no
Yeah.
idea. And so what I try to remember is when I'm just talking to people, they feel like there's a Bible verse that says something like a word fitly spoken or rightly spoken is like golden apples on a silver tray. Like it can be just
That's a
the
good book.
right. All right. If I'm saying that wrong, anybody, don't quote me. But I'm pretty sure. But I'm pretty sure. And that's the power of a word. That's the power of a word. But that's also the power of a meal. That's the power of anything small. And so whatever you're doing, it is not small. And I'm right now calling you, I'm charging you to do that on a bigger level. And whatever a bigger level may be for you, but I'm telling you, you can do it. I'm telling you can do it. I believe you can do it. And I need you to hear my voice that you are now being called to do it. Okay. And you might need to ask your friends, what is it that you do? So when I felt like I was called to be a therapist, I had been praying about purpose and everything. I don't think you I don't think you could have told me like you just called to talk to people. I don't think I would have understood that. And after I did understand that it did understand the purpose of it and did understand the importance of it, I I realized how people had been saying it all. Like, oh, you're always talking to people. You're just always talking to people. And so it's very easy to downplay that I'm just talking to somebody and so it means nothing until like people come up to you like they do after church and say, oh my God, this blessed me. Oh my God, this helped me. Oh my God. And so I will say, I think your gifting may feel like nothing to you, but when you operate in your gift, it will feel like everything to somebody else. So play the bigger
Yeah.
game. Stop playing small. Start doing the things you know you need to do. So, okay. Well, I'm feeling complete today. Anything else you feel like we need to say?
I think one last thing I would say is don't compare yourself, because
Oh,
that's one of the
please.
things that'll make you
Mm-hmm.
comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I think not only is it an enemy or a thief of joy, but it also limits you and keeps you in the same position because you're looking at other people and you're like, well, they're doing greater things, so why don't I just
Mhm.
lie low and just chill?
Like
So
ritual.
yeah, don't compare
Yeah.
yourself, and you will be able to think big. You will be able to go for those bigger things if you don't do that.
Oh, I want to
That's
say
for
that because
me.
I feel like I just learned a lesson last week. And so I have two two women in my life who in my head they were so big, so large. In my head, they both had 1 million followers, and I was scared to approach them for being on the new Entrepreneurs podcast that we're doing. I was scared to approach them, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to approach them. And so then I was like, okay, let me look and actually see how much bigger they are than me. All right. What I realized is one of them only had 2,000 followers on Instagram, and the other one only had 5,000 followers on Instagram. And I have 7,000 followers on LinkedIn. And so, and we're close to 8,000. Thank you, Q, for all your
Yeah.
hard work. I appreciate that. And so I was just like, man, okay. Like I, in my head, put them on such a pedestal and made myself so
Mm.
low that it took me days to get up the courage to approach them, which is not even approaching them. I sent them an email. That's all we did. And then I was feeling all intimidated, like, oh my God, hopefully they'll take time out of their busy schedules to talk a little on me.
Mm.
And then looking at it like we're probably about the same. And so I just don't get stuck in your head. Don't let what you think in your head stop you from moving forward. Please don't, because you could be wrong. And you might want to reality check some things, because had I reality checked, I would have saw, yes, they're doing great and amazing things, but we are too. And that doesn't mean that they're not willing to reach and help me and stop and do what I need them to do. And so don't get in your head. Always get out there and put out the ad. And so I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. But it's just so interesting that, like I was thinking, they got 1 million followers. They probably won't pay attention to me. You know, we're all out here working and trying to build. Yeah. So
That's a
do
good
it,
one.
do it, do it, do it, do it. So,
I
okay.
agree.
All right. Anything else before we jump off for today? Yeah, I know Sharice is hates that she's not here today. Because she would have loved this topic. This would have been her jam. All right. And so we may have to redo this topic. Or maybe I'll ask her
Can
to
do
go
a
on
part two.
Facebook. Say what?
You guys can do a part two
We
of
can,
this
okay, we'll
topic.
do a part two because I know she has a lot to say. And then when she talks, that makes me want to talk more. And so she's
Mm.
just such an inspiration, just such an inspiration. So Q, thank you so much for stepping up and being on with me today. I really appreciate it. That was awesome. And now,
Pleasure. It was a great
all
conversation.
right.
And I
So
hope
it,
someone is inspired to
yeah,
dream bigger and just get going with their dreams.
I hope so too. But okay, let's do a little housekeeping. All right. First of all, are you taking on any social media clients? If anybody's looking for a social media assistant, are you taking on any new business?
I am.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
need to do clean up your social media, do something with your social media, you can definitely contact me, email me. Can I
Mm-hmm.
actually mention my email address? Yes. So
Yep.
it's
Mm-hmm.
FQHAYIYA at gmail.com. I
Okay.
can't really say my name because probably your audience can't even pronounce it.
Well, what you
But
can
yeah,
do
it's
is put it in the show notes. And so if anybody is looking for a good social media girl, Q has been doing my social media for I think about 18 months, actually.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think about
You know,
18 months. And don't look at the first 6 months because that was my stuff that she had to like fix up. So definitely look at the last 6 months, the last year probably, and you'll see really her
awesome.
influence on my social media. So if you're looking for a social media person, definitely feel free to reach out to her. And she gave y'all the email, and she'll put her information in the show notes. This is the Together podcast. This is where we come together to help you get it together. So I'm Natalie Elliott. This is Q Fella. Sharice is usually here, but she was, I think, traveling or busy, and so she's not here to be with you guys today. But I know she loves you guys, and I know she wanted to be here with you guys. So we'll catch up with her next week, and you guys have a wonderful day.
Like, comment, and
Yes.
subscribe to the channel. Yes.
She's training me to do better on that. Okay, like, look, wait, what are the three words? Like, subscribe, and comment. Okay,
Leave a
please do.
comment if you enjoyed the conversation. And yeah, we'll catch you next week.
Okay, bye bye.
Audio Jungle.